Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I am joined today by a very special guest making his debut on the channel, Mr. Blue Chip, Mr. Avi. How are we doing today?
Yeah, good. Enough of the special guests. I'm no special guest. I've been on a show with you boys before, so it's great. I think football related Liverpool, but the less said about Liverpool right now, the better. But it's a pleasure always to come on with you, Luke. Callum, obviously, we've been in a couple of shows, and Jamie as well. So now it's great to be on a different sort of on lighter terms, on UFC terms, which is exciting, and for a big card as well for UFC 300 tomorrow.
Yeah, and then of course I'm joined by my partners in crime, Mr. Callum Sanderson and Jamie Phillips. How are we doing this evening?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Can't complain.
Could be better if we weren't losing 3-0 to Atlanta, but yeah, there it goes, isn't it?
Yeah, less said about that pasting, the better. But let's get on to the main event for the weekend. UFC 300 round the corner. Headlined by Alex Pereira, Jamal Hill. How are we feeling towards the event as a whole? Because they've done the press conferences, they've done the weigh-ins. Is anyone more hyped, or are they less hyped for the event? I'll start off with you, Callum. Are you more hyped for it now, or are you?
Yeah, I think I'm a sucker for a good promo and a good press conference. I am. I try not to work myself up. And look, I've sort of been in the camp of I think this is a phenomenal card. I've always agreed with Jay though, in sense of it's not a star-studded card, but it is a great card fight-wise. It's just a shame. I don't think the UFC did a great job promoting it overall. And I think they dropped the ball with how they announced the main event. I still think the main event is a great main event. They built up expectations so much that unless it was Conor McGregor in the main event, I don't think anyone would have been really happy about it. But I think this is the best card I've ever seen assembled from like start to finish. I think that Figueiredo and Garbrandt opening the card is crazy to what we have. It's an amazing card.
Yeah. Avi, what did you feel like when Dana announced that Pereira was going to be defending his light heavyweight title against Jamal Hill, which I found a shock, considering that he's just come back from a serious Achilles injury, and he was literally told the day before, "Do you want it?" And he's gone, "Yeah." Do you think he's been pushed into a bit of a corner that you need to take it, or else you're not going to get it again?
I think, like Callum said, I think from the prelims, like Garbrandt fighting first against Fig, right? And then he was announcing fights as they were coming along. Like the prelims are going to have this, the early prelims will have these cards. Like like Jalen Turner is going to be on the early prelims as well. And then you had the prelims, and then you had the main event, like Zhang Weili Zhang fighting Charles Oliveira. Then he thought he's billing it up to like it's going to be an extraordinary main event. Like Callum, like if it was Conor McGregor or if it was and Alex or Izzy maybe part 3, you get really beefed up for it. But I think the other day, Jamal Hill sort of had his hoodie sort of signed by Alex Pereira, and I was like, this is too cushy, these too nice for a main event. But then yesterday in the press conference, he was really giving it a little bit some, and Alex was responding back in like Spanish, Portuguese. So it is. I think it's going to be a great fight. But I think that main card it is pretty much stacked, and then you've got Aljamain Sterling, like he was just a champion like a fight ago, and he's on the prelims. That doesn't make sense for him, but it could be a dislike, like we talked backstage from Dana's side or whatnot. But yeah, no, the card is stacked, and I think the main event it will deliver. I don't see it going 5 rounds. I think there will be a stoppage, then we'll go into it.
Well, speaking of like big like announcement that was made, I'll go to you, Jamie. Dana made one big announcement at the press conference that I don't know whether or not he was colluded into, that the bonuses have now been up to 300,000, which is quite nice of him, considering that you're going to get a 16 million gate receipt. So I was hoping that you'd increase the bonuses. Do you think this is purely just a one-off, or do you think they're going to change the bonus system?
You got to keep it at that. How can you go right just 300 grand for one night, and then you go back to 50? No, it's got to stay like okay. It has to.
This is Dana.
Yeah, but I'd be, if I was a fighter, I'd be extreme peed off if one bonus is 300 grand because it's a 300 show, and then the next show for 301, it's 50 again for fighters that weren't on the 300 card. I'd be a bit, if I was a fighter, I'd be a bit annoyed because it's not my fault you ain't booked me for the 300 card. And then I'm on 301, but I'm getting 50 grand bonus instead of the 300 grand. That wouldn't be fair.
I think, Luke, just coming out, you can't set that precedent either. Like, once you've said like these fighters are going to get paid 300,000 for fight of the night, performance of the night, knockout of the night, you can't go back to like 50,000 again for the events going forward. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think if
you guys don't know Dana White,
I could get away with it.
That's why he's in the position that he's in, Callum.
It's going back to 50k, guys. I'm telling you that from that.
Yeah,
that'd be awful.
But then how does that look then, Callum, for the other fighters? Then the fighters that miss out this opportunity,
guys, you're saying everything that's right. You're saying absolutely everything that's right. Dana doesn't care. Like he's going back to 50, guys. He's going back to 50.
Yeah, because when the Dana made done stuff that he's immediately backtracked on, like events that were supposed to happen here. Like, remember UFC Africa? Remember the three kings had the golden opportunity, missed the boat. Missed the boat with the Brazil card literally next month. They've missed the boat because Pereira's fighting here. Like, completely missing opportunities and going back on promises and stuff like that. So it's not going to stick at 300k. This is just for this event. Maybe they go up just a little bit if Dana's feeling a bit generous, but they're going back to 50k because no one has got the power in that company to knock on his door and go, excuse me, why is it back to 50k? Dana will be like, you'll be lucky you're fighting here.
But could that be the push from TKO and Endeavor instead of the UFC pushing it? Because they've been taken over.
Maybe.
It could be a push from Endeavor and TKO group saying that, hey, let's put a good balance here and say that fighters deserve like 150, 200,000 for performances of the night or fight of the night.
I've got a theory. I might be completely wrong, but I've got a theory. WrestleMania was such a success and such a great event. If UFC 300 doesn't live up to it, it's going to look bad. How does an event that isn't scripted going to live up to it?
Whoa.
Instead of £50,000 bonus, go and give 300k for the bonus. Did you notice when he said it, every single fighter on that stage changed from going to win to I need performance or I need a bonus. Yeah. We are going to see a variety of knockouts and finishes because fighters are going to go in there and be more reckless. They're going to lose the game plan to an extent, chasing that 300k, which is probably more than what they make just fighting potentially some of them, and go, that's how you make a 300 card, which some people don't look at and go, wow, that's how you make it well, because everyone's going for a finish because they've got that carrot.
I'd eye poke the shit out of everyone if that was me. 300k. You know what I mean?
On to the next thing, because obviously another announcement was made. The UFC got a new glove. When I first heard the news, I thought the UFC and Trevor Whitman they've come to an agreement. We're going to get the Trevor Whitman glove. Oh no! A new glove that's basically the same as the old glove, but they've just shaved off a bit of the knuckle, and they've changed colours. So the champions will be fighting in a gold glove. Cannot wait for them to get eye poked again. And everyone will go, yeah, these new gloves are a bit shit because the guys are getting eye poked.
Gold gloves for champions. What are we doing here? It's like nursery, ain't it? So you've been the best kid all week. Here's your gold certificate. What are we doing here? Take the gloves.
I think I like that though. The champions are wearing the gold glove.
But have you seen the glove? It looks like my daughter made it. It looks awful.
I think it's like more incentive for the challenger to beat him then as well.
Yeah.
It's like a pass torching of the gold glove, and then they get to wear it as champions as well.
I've said it before. Take the gloves away. Let's just use our fists like men.
He wants bare knuckle MMA.
Just wrap them up. Just wrap them up, and just let them go to war. The gladiators at the end of the day.
They've literally just taken away the thumb.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, the glove's not changed.
That means more people are just going to break their thumb.
More people are going to get thumbs in the eye.
Yeah, absolutely. I guarantee you, someone's getting poked in the eye.
Someone's getting fish hooked. You know what I mean? But it's all right. It's gold. You got to make sure you turn your hand so they can see the sponsorship.
Yeah, but if you're fighting on the Contender Series, it's blue.
Oh God.
Even better.
Do you know
Yeah,
how
if
much?
buy on
Do you know how much the
Canelo,
UFC gloves sell for?
300 quid.
No,
300 quid at least.
I don't know. The gold
Keep
one
it in
probably.
theme with UFC 300. They're going to sell it for 300 quid.
The men's official black UFC pro fight gloves are £96.
What am I going to do with them though? If I buy them, I'm going to go out in the streets and just start
You
knocking
know,
people out.
it was the last UFC event I went to, which was the Jones-Garney fight, the Garn fight. I wanted to get the belt, right, the UFC, but the old one, the original one, the one that Chuck Liddell, Tito wore and all that. It's like $500. I said, no way. You can get a fake one from Alibaba, right? .com. You can get one for like $40 with shipping. So I was like, I'm gonna get that. No one's gonna know the difference. Put it on my wall, and that's it. That's my UFC belt.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
just.
do you know what I wear? I wear them fingerless market gloves. You know, the fingerless market gloves. The store market store. That's an hard man, not these fucking big. But you know,
Yeah. But let's get on to the card as well. Let's start at the top, at the main event. I'll start off with you, Avi. Obviously, Jamal Hill's making his return from a very serious Achilles injury. Obviously, he's fighting Alex Pereira. Do you feel like this was the correct matchup to be made? Because obviously, on the card, we got Yuri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic. Or do you think there was another matchup that could have been made for Pereira? Or do you think this was the right call to be made?
I think it's the right call, Luke. I think stylistically, I think it's a good matchup. I think Hill's a very good fighter. He's quite accomplished. And then Pereira, stepping up in heavyweight, he struggled. There was a fight where he struggled. He went to 5 rounds. It was a decision. Which fight was that?
Blachowicz. I think
he
he was lucky to just get the win there.
Escape the win there. So, he is going up. He's got the power. We know that Pereira's got the power. But heavyweight is a different sort of kettle of fish. No one can
light heavyweight.
Sorry?
Light heavyweight.
And I think even that transition from middleweight, but they say that he was always walking around at light heavyweight weight anyway. Like his weight was like, 230, 240, like he was like 220 even. Like he walks around comfortably, and then he cuts down for his main fights, whether it's middleweight or light heavy. Hill's a good fighter. I think it could go either way. I think a lot of people are saying Pereira. The noises from Twitter and from the outside, from sharedog.com and all that, they're saying Pereira, but I fancy Hill to get the job done here. He looks focused. The Achilles injury is a nasty one as well. Like once you get it, the sort of elastics around your heel, it takes a long time to recover from. Some footballers never recover from it. And UFC, especially when you're using your legs, especially when you're taking down, you're all about your leg and your movement. So it's a tough fight for both. I think it is going to be an exciting one, especially after the press conference. But I don't know. I can't pick a winner here. But a lot of people are saying Pereira, but I'm not too sure.
I'll go with you, Jamie. So obviously, with the Achilles injury, do you think the game plan for Pereira would be to go for the leg kicks, like really target that leg where he suffered the Achilles injury, to see how healed it is? Because let's be honest, when we heard the news, I'm pretty sure we were all like, "Are you sure?" Because he was supposed to be back in the summer. Like that was the rumor that he was going to be back in the summer. But obviously, then he gets the call. He's not going to turn it down. So do you think that's going to be the Pereira game plan? Just go for the leg kicks, keep him at range, try to chop that lead leg or wherever. I can't remember which leg he got the Achilles injury, but just target that leg.
Yeah, I think Pereira is just going to put it on him from the start, no matter what. I literally just think he looks at Hill as just another victim. And he's just going to put it on him straight away. He's been out for a while. Pereira's been quite active, going up and down in weights as well, keeping his shape. Looks great at the moment. I just think he's going to put it on him. I think he uses them leg kicks, like you said. He uses reach, he uses distance, he uses world-class kickboxing. You are right. He will target that leg as well. But I just feel like Pereira don't know anything else but to just put it on you anyway. Come forward, put it on you. Use his kickboxing skills, and I just think Pereira's going to completely eat him for breakfast, personally.
Callum, obviously, there was concerns about Pereira because he's grew his hair out, and then we saw all embedded. He did the dreaded embedded curse. He got his hair cut.
Yeah,
went bald. change mindset. Obviously, the press conference, you see Jamal Hill carrying that like little totem necklace, really getting hyped up for this main event. Do you think that like what happened at the press conference is actually going to get into Pereira's head, or do you think it's full steam ahead? He just sees a guy that's really overconfident. Well, I wouldn't say overconfident, maybe trying to give off a facade like he is fully recovered. Because the way Jamal Hill is acting, it's like he's fully recovered, ready to go. Do you think Pereira sees that as like, I don't really believe that, and that there is still concerns? Because when you look at Jamal Hill's scar on that Achilles, I'm not a medical expert. That does not look fully healed to me.
I think Avi pointed to it. I don't know if you ever fully heal from an injury like that. I just think gradually you deal with it better. When the fight was first announced, I actually favored Hill because I think he matches up well with Pereira. And when you look at their stats, that were virtually identical in terms of height, reach, and everything. They're virtually identical. But after yesterday's press conference, I don't know now. And it's like you look at Jamal Hill, he's very laid back. He's usually really jokey and he's not he's usually one of the most quiet in the room. But yesterday he really made a beeline for Pereira. And I'm like, Pereira's been pretty respectful to you in the lead up. It's the fans who have been disrespectful to Jamal. Yeah. And I wonder if he's seeing that disrespect and it's really getting to him more than it should be. And he's directing his energy in the wrong way. And if he's doing that and he makes a mistake against Pereira, he's going to sleep. Like there's no two ways about it. Pereira's got that touch of death. Like we've seen it numerous times. However, we've also seen Pereira get put out by Izzy. And I'd put good money on it that Jamal hits harder than Izzy. May not hit as accurately. He definitely hits harder than Izzy, which is why I've leaned towards Pereira. Plus, before he got the finish against Prohaska, he didn't look that comfortable in there. And against Blachowicz, I actually think he lost that fight.
Yes, I did, yeah.
So, and we've seen, like, Jamal Hill, we've never seen him hurt on the feet. We've seen him obviously get his elbow dislocated, but even in that, he was still throwing punches, even though his elbow was just dangling, his arm was dangling around. We've never seen him hurt. We've never seen him dropped. I think people are sleeping on Hill. If someone had to tell me right now to make a bet, I'd probably go Pereira because of the activity, but I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if Hill won. I see it 60-40 towards Pereira, but I wouldn't be surprised if Hill won.
I think I see it as a 50-50.
Does strength and conditioning come into play here? If Hill can withstand the first 2 rounds, because we know Teixeira's engine, right? His stamina, it's not great. We've seen him slow down, especially after the second round, right? Against the Polish. I'm not going to even attempt to say
Blachowicz.
He struggled there. If Hill can withstand the first 2 rounds of that pressure and counterattack him, I think it favors Hill. So I think the first 2 rounds, like Jamie said, he feels that it's going to be Pereira from get-go. I think that as well. I think he will be the aggressor straight on because he'll fancy his chances with Hill's injuries, with his first comeback fight since the Achilles. I think strength and conditioning after the second round, it comes into a major play. And that's when I favor sort of Hill.
I think for me, it is a 50-50 fight because obviously Hill's record against Brazilian fighters is 3-0.
Yeah.
And the last time he fought a Brazilian fighter, he basically retired Glover in Brazil, like emptied out that arena in Brazil, basically. And Jamal just put it on him from the first bell. Put it on him for 5 rounds. And I don't know whether or not Jamal's going to do the same and put it on Pereira straight away. Because probably Pereira's going to think that he may be the aggressor, but I don't know whether or not Jamal's going to go, nah, you know what? I'm going to be the aggressor. I'm going to go be the aggressor, make you fight on the back foot for the first 2 rounds.
Has Jamal Hill ever fought a Terminator? Like this
doesn't go down.
This man's not normal.
No, the guy that shows no emotions whatsoever, especially where it's changed. No, but I think it's a 50-50 fight. I do agree with you, Avi. If Hill survives the first 2 rounds, then I do see him winning, because Pereira's gas tank does massively deplete after the first 2. He's got the Conor cardio. First 2 rounds, if you can survive Conor the first 2 rounds, yeah, we've got a pretty good chance of winning. And that's what I see with Pereira. Basically, you get past the first 2 rounds, and then you're always in with a chance. So I'll go with predictions. I'll start off with you, Avi. Who have you got?
I'm going Jamal Hill.
Which
I think
round?
it's a long way since the Paul Craig fight as well, like where he got knocked
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
He's come a long, long way. And listen, he possesses knockout power, man. Thiago Santos. He should have finished off Glover, but like Jamie said, Glover's unbelievable. Like he's Terminator reincarnation. Like, but for me, Jamal Hill, I think he gets the job done. But again, I don't think it's going to be a decision. I think it will be like 3 rounds. I think he gets the job done inside 3.
Jamie?
I've got to back my man Pereira, man. He don't even take any notice of that Nina bird. So you know what I'm saying. So I'm backing my man here, Pereira. Pereira by evil stoppage.
Alan?
I'm gonna go Pereira by a 2nd round stoppage.
I don't know.
But I want Hill to win. I like Pereira a lot. I do want Hill to win. I like Hill.
Fuck Hill.
I don't know who
Main event's gonna be saucy now, isn't it, Jay?
You know what? I think I'm going to go with Jamal Hill to win, because I've got a feeling Pereira's got this thing where he just wants to. Yeah, I've dropped the belt and then I'll move up to heavyweight, get another belt, and look, I've won 3 belts in 3 different divisions.
Did Pereira have trouble making weight tonight as well?
They say so, but when you saw him on the scales, he looked fine.
He looked,
Like
be a heavyweight.
No, I'm going to go Jamal Hill, 4th round KO.
Future heavyweight champion Pereira.
Do you guys think we see Izzy and Pereira again?
Nah.
No, Izzy ain't stupid, man. Yeah,
Yes.
It was meant to be
Izzy's ego. If Pereira retains and Izzy wins, guarantee that fight's getting made.
Well, I read today that Izzy thought he was getting DDP in the main event of 300. And then he found out minutes before the announced main event that DDP couldn't make them fight. So I think that's the fight he wants. That was meant to be the main event. Apparently, Izzy let out the bag today. So
I think he deserves one more, just to really close out that chapter once and for all. Whoever it takes it, whether it's Pereira or Izzy,
I just don't know
from the kickboxing days as well.
I don't know if Izzy can beat him at 205 low. That's the thing.
Oh, you can't even make. I don't even think Izzy can get up to 205.
Mate, he got to 200 and holding a pizza box on the scales.
Yeah,
like literally, if that. But let's move on to the co-main event. Justin Gaethje versus sorry, it's at Weili Zhang versus Xiaonan. I completely forgot this was on the card, to be honest, because they didn't even promote this whatsoever. Crazy,
well, let's be real. This fight should have been in China.
Yeah, or should have been in Asia.
This is the equivalent of MVP versus Leon Edwards, and they do it at bloody like Utah or something. Like you'd be sitting there going, "What the hell?"
You just picked the worst state in America.
No, not even like. No, because like you just be like, "Why the hell isn't this in China?" And I'm guessing there must have been some sort of political thing because two Chinese, a challenger and a champion in the same division at the same time, fighting like it sells itself.
Look, I agree with you, but President Xi is not going to let 2 women fight in China. That ain't going to happen. Yeah, big up President Xi, though, just in case he's watching.
I read something like inequality as well with women. Like they're still sort of like not big on women going to sports and stuff.
Well, it's a communist country, isn't it?
Yeah, so especially in like combat sports, it's a difficult one. But yeah, like I'm with Callum. This fight should grace like Beijing somewhere. Like
it should have done. Or have it in Singapore if you can't do it in China.
Yeah, Singapore, like
Singapore, something like that.
Max versus Zombie, but yeah, I think this is poor from the UFC that this has been poorly promoted.
Yeah,
like 2 Chinese women fighting for the strawweight belt. And the fact is that they're using Gaethje Hollaway as like promoting it as the co-main event when you've got this on the card? For me,
I think it is the co-main now. I think it's been moved up, ain't it?
Is it been moved up? Because
That's
on
what
here,
where there's. I swear I saw
Lee's
something on
co-main event.
Twitter earlier when they said your co-main event, the BMF title. Might have been wrong.
Oh,
but
that'd be a madness if they've done that.
I mean, look, let's face it. This fight is my toilet break, and you know, I'm putting it out right. I'm putting it out there right now. This is when I go and get. This is when I go and get a new can of Monster. Take my toilet break, freshen up a little bit. And,
do you know what, Jamie? Since this will be your toilet break, I'll let you discuss it first. What do you think about this matchup?
I can't be bothered. Zhang Wei, I think. Zhang Wei. Look, I actually like Zhang Wei. She's violent, and I love violent women. So yeah, Zhang Wei. Yeah, let's just get the job done, man. Let's get the job done and get the job done and get the Gaethje fight going. That's what we're saying. I'm just being a Dana fan now. Let's do it.
You're doing a Dana. Hey, Callum, I'll go to you because obviously this is a massive moment for China, for women's MMA in China, because obviously you got the two women fighting for the belt. For Wei Li, this is a massive opportunity for her because she has spoken about going up to 125, and a dominant win over a fellow countrywoman could set her up in a good position to possibly fight the winner of Grasso Shevchenko 3 later this year.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. The only thing I would say is if she gets past Xiaonan, there is one person she has to fight. And that is Tatiana Suarez.
Oh, thank God for that. I thought you were going to say Rose then. I thought we don't need to see
that.
No.
Rose has beat her twice. Yeah, so for me,
Rose's fight her husband.
Yeah. I think
he had lethal leg kicks as well back in the day, didn't he? Pat Barry?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I do think she has to fight Tatiana Suarez. I think Suarez deserves that fight.
I agree.
But the thought of Wei Li versus, and again, it should be Shevchenko who's a champion right now. Wei Li versus Shevchenko.
Whoa. Okay, go back.
Sorry, Jamie's wife, Valentina Shevchenko. The thought of that fight, like for me, that's the closest fight to Shevchenko versus Nunes when they're both champion. That fight, that's a fight, man.
I'm with you, man.
Wait, but do you agree?
I do. You know what? I haven't concentrated on the women's division since Rose lost against.
No one has.
And I think with Rose, it's all up here. Like sometimes it's just mentality. Like she just very lax.
Her husband's the coach.
And then it's gone round and round with Joanna Jurczyk. She gets her chance again against Zhang Wei Li. Zhang Weili. How do you say her name? Wei Li Zhang.
Wei Li Zhang.
Wei Li Zhang.
Yeah, Zhang.
That division, like I'm not too adverse about it. I fancy Zhang to get the job done. I really do. Yeah. I thought Callum was going to say that she should fight Rose again. I think she needs a one-up on Rose, and Rose. I think
Rose does not deserve another title shot because she's been
not at the moment. Not at the moment, no.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have that stigma, isn't it? You have that stigma sometimes that you know what, I need to fight that person again just to know that I've got the better of her. You saw it back in boxing back in the days when Pacquiao and Marquez fight. Marquez Pacquiao's number, even though Pacquiao was going through the division like no tomorrow, but Marquez always had his number, and they fought 3-4 times. And the last time they fought, Marquez won. I think here again, Rose needs to pick up a few wins, 100%. But yeah, if her next step up, she wins tomorrow is Shevchenko, I think that's a step too far, especially in the women's division, unfortunately.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I don't keep an eye on strawweight because Mackenzie ain't doing nothing in that division, so I don't keep an eye on it really. No. All jokes aside, I think in my predictions at the beginning of the year, I said that Wei Li would still be the champion at the end of this year, and setting up a potential super fight with whoever is the champion at the division above, because that's the way it's going. Especially with the UFC, they want to do a super fight at every single opportunity, and this for me is another perfect opportunity to do a super fight, because if I don't know. Is Suarez out injured at the moment?
I don't think so.
Is she out injured? Because I've not heard anything like online about her.
I think she's next in line for a title shot.
She's next
She's
in
won
line,
2
but
fights.
you know what Dana's
back
like.
off injury.
You know what Dana's like. If he sees like Shevchenko versus Weili, he's thinking, "Yeah, I'll do that instead. Yeah. Forget the number one contender because we've got a habit of doing this. I'll do what I want to do." John Jones, DP. Sorry. I'll get your prediction, Jamie, to start off with, because your toilet break. Who's going to win?
Me. Weili. I think Weili gets the job done and then fights the winner of Grosso and Shevchenko.
Avi?
Wait.
Callum?
Yeah, Weili. I don't see where Xiaonan beats her.
Yeah, Weili by KO. Yeah, it's not going 5 rounds.
I've got so many jokes. I'm just not going there.
Yeah. Less of that.
I'm going Weili by sub, by the way. Weili by sub.
Weili by sub.
First 2 rounds. Sub.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right, let's move on to the BMF title fight. Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. I'll start off with you, Callum. When this fight was announced, did you think, oh God, Max is going to get chinned? Is that statistic of him getting dropped? Is that going to fall this weekend?
Put it this way. If he gets through this fight and doesn't touch the canvas, then he's got the best chin in MMA history. Because he'd have been in there with McGregor, Poirier, Volkanovski, who's who. And no one's Yair. I saw Yair Rodriguez kick him in the face about 16 times, and he just smiled back at him. You know what it's like? Remember that episode of Simpsons where Homer just fought everyone, and he'd just take a beating, and then they'll tire themselves out, and he'd just hit them once. That's effectively Max. Max, you can't hurt him, but Gaethje's a different level.
Especially after that head kick to Dustin.
He's a different level. And this is when I knew Gaethje's power was real, when I saw what he did to Ferguson.
Was that the fight before he got the title shot, wasn't it, against Khabib?
Yeah, not only watching that fight was hard, but hearing it in the Apex with no fans, you hear every single
punch. It wasn't even in the Apex, it was in an arena.
This ain't right.
Yeah, it's just me.
Yeah, Trevor Whitman literally told him not to kill him.
They made memes on his face after that fight, didn't they? On Ferguson's face. Literally the kicks.
So I'd be surprised if Max doesn't get dropped in this fight. However, I don't know if we've ever seen Gaethje in there with someone who puts combinations together like Max either.
I thought Dustin puts combinations together.
Not like Max though. Max, if Max sees you wobble, look what he did to Calvin Cater. Like,
oh my God.
If Max sees you wobble, he's hitting you another 68 times, like without fail. So this one, I get Max is coming up from a lower weight, but it's Max though, isn't it?
He looked good on the scales though.
He looked
I think he got told about this. I think didn't Ali drop a tweet in October mentioning this? And usually when he mentions it, usually they've had talks about it. I reckon Max has known about this since September, October last year, because he looked like he's bulked up a bit and cut, because we know Max is a big featherweight, walks around about 190. He looked like he packed muscle to then drop, looked like he built up weight the right way, rather than when he fought Poirier. You basically saw Max was a tubby featherweight.
Yeah,
like Max looks in the right frame. I'll go to you, Jamie. Obviously, there is another fight on the card, which is Oliveira versus Sarukian. Does a highlight performance in this BMF title fight, does it pushes them to be the number one contender? Because there's a little bit of a queue. Islam's been chirping a little bit. Max and him have gone back and forward online about basically Holloway saying he's not an active champ, and then Islam saying I've fought more times than you, and then Max is saying I said as a champ. So basically you need to read it better. Do you think the winner of this could force their way into the title contention, or do you think them having the BMF belt would steer them away from title?
This made up title presented by The Rock really does my head in. It's not an official title. It's just it's a piece of crap. It's like The Rock's
belt.
It's like The Rock's People's title that Muhammad Ali's wife gave him the other day. It's like, it's not real.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the WWE hardcore title.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just,
it can change hands at any time on the plane.
That's what it should be.
Like the ring.
It should be 24/7 defended, and they just fighting everywhere and just have UFC official around. You know what I mean? That's what I'll pay for that. No, but Dana sort of loves this belt for some reason. But look, whoever wins this fight, you'd have to say the number one contender. Because especially if Gaethje wins, I don't know what more Gaethje has to do, by the way.
But probably get Dustin again for a trilogy, because obviously I think the way it's shaping, Dustin seems like he's put himself in the number one contender slot. Obviously, Gaethje's not happy about that, and then I swear Dana said that Charles versus Sarukin's number one contender, but we know Dana changes his mind literally like a click of the finger.
What is so point of the rankings? The rankings make no sense. What you do, the winner of this fight is the winner of Charles Oliveira's fight, and then the winner of that gets a title shot.
Yeah.
Just do it that way. And then everything's nice and clear. But Gaethje, this is going to be a fight. And I think he might need to get people ready for them hospital beds for Hollaway, because he's going to be in serious trouble.
Well,
he's going to be in serious trouble in this fight. Holloway shouldn't have fought this. He shouldn't have accepted this. He should have accepted it. He's too old now. He's going to get absolutely destroyed.
What, Max is too old? Max is like 31.
I didn't fight.
Yeah, but he's an old 31-year-old. Yeah. He's got more mileage on him than a New York hooker. Do you know what I mean? He has, man. He's only 31. I feel like Gaethje's just pissed at the moment, because I think Gaethje feels like he should be having a title fight, proper title fight. And he's just
don't blame Dana, blame Ali, mate, because he's your manager and he's screwing you out title shots, mate.
Yeah, he needs a better agent, man. He needs a better agent, definitely. But I think Gaethje take all his frustrations out on a Holloway and win quite comfortably, in my opinion.
Avi, do you agree? Will the UFC need to get the hospital beds ready, cage side, for Max Holloway? Do you think he's leaving in the stretcher?
I don't think he'll leave out in the stretcher. I love Max. I think he's come a long way from that Conor McGregor fight. Like, he just got better and better after that. And I fancied, if they ever were to meet for a second fight a couple of years back, I thought Max would have had his number.
Yeah.
Unlike against Volk. Volk was just slightly bigger. Just the endurance on Max, the Calvin Kattar fight, like when he's talking to the commentators. He was talking to DC while he was boxing the shit out of the guy, man. With seconds to go, but it's going to be a good fight. Gaethje, you know what? Funny enough, with Gaethje, I thought he was the one man that could have dethroned Khabib. But again, mentality. I thought he had the wrestling, he had the stand-up, but Khabib in that his retirement fight, he was just unbelievable. But I really thought Gaethje, he could have troubled Khabib, and he did kind of trouble him in the first sort of round, like really gave him trouble. But Khabib's wrestling, and after that, just took over. But I don't know. I fancy Max, Jamie. I think Max, again, he comes from all angles. And if it's just a pure stand-up, I fancy Max's boxing. I mean, Max has been hit. And he's got a scrawny face as well. It's not as if he's got a big face. Like, he's taken beats. And he's always, like, stood up with the best of them, whether it's Conor, whether it's Poirier, whether it's Volk. So I don't know if it's going to go to, like, is it a 3-round fight, isn't it, the BMF fight?
5 round.
5 rounds?
Yeah.
Endurance, he kind of gasses out too at times. I fancy Max. I fancy Max to get the job done.
So it would be a heck of a victory. I think this would be the most exciting fight on the card. Might not be the fight of the night, but it might be the most exciting, where it could go 5 rounds or it could go 30 seconds. You just don't know, because as I say, Max's defense is not as good as Gaethje's for me, because Gaethje uses.
I wouldn't say Gaethje's defense is.
Yeah, but Gaethje uses his wrestling to stand up, don't he?
Gaethje won't use his wrestling offensively at all. He may use it in a defensive situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He uses it in a defensive situation. And I think Gaethje's leg kicks are really good.
His leg kicks are brutal.
devastating. And Max is quite skinny, and I think them leg kicks could be
Max
the
has got
difference.
big legs, though. You know.
Yeah, but he's got a
really big
skinny
legs.
waist, man. He's going to get
Well-
smashed in that gut if I'm Gaethje, because Gaethje's leg kicks are disgusting.
Yeah, definitely one of the hardest.
If Max, the first sort of minute or two, if he feels confident, he'll start speaking to Gaethje as well.
Yeah,
He'll start playing a little bit of gamesmanship, and like Max is great at it. Like, you know what I mean? He's a skinny fella, but he's great at that. But look, Gaethje's definitely got power, but I can't see Max getting dropped, Callum. I just think he's got that steel chin as well, man. He'll just withstand the pain.
I just got to worry about it, because
Once that chin goes,
Yeah.
you go sort of thing.
Chuck Liddell had one of the greatest chins I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then
Once you drop once,
and then it
people
went.
are going to go, like, even if, let's say, Max wins, right, and he gets dropped, let's say, people are going to go, yeah, his chin's on the decline now. I'm going to start pushing forward because I know that I can drop him.
Yeah, it's just confidence against
even if Max wins, like, look at Charles Oliveira. He gets dropped pretty much every single fight.
Yeah, I've dropped him.
Pretty much. That's how he lost the belt. He literally got dropped with a jab, and Islam just followed him to the mat and basically tapped him out. Like, people know, like, if you can get dropped easily, they're just going to push forward because they know, like, the pressure's going to break you eventually. So
Yeah.
I fingers crossed. That's one record. I want Max to retire and never getting dropped in the UFC. That'd be one legendary record. But I just got a feeling he will probably get dropped. But I don't think he'll get dropped with any like slick combination. I literally just think Gaethje's just going to throw something wild and get him and just catch him just for him to get dropped temporarily. Yeah, but I don't think the winner of this gets a title shot at all. I think
Oliveira, I think.
If Max wins, I reckon he'll take that belt back down to 45, and you're going to get Ilya versus Max. They say in Spain, but it ain't going to be in the Santiago Bernabeu because Ilya's talking out of his ass if he's getting that event in Spain.
If Max wins, I think Dana gets rid of the BMF title.
Oh.
But I think if Gaethje wins, I think they're going to do the Poirier 3 rematch.
So I don't. I think if Gaethje loses, I think they do the trilogy with Poirier. If Gaethje wins, I think he... All right, so let me start again.
Him and Oliveira.
If Oliveira wins,
Mm-hmm.
Oliveira gets a title shot next. If Oliveira loses and Gaethje wins, Gaethje gets the title shot next. If Gaethje loses, him and Poirier do the trilogy. If Sarukian wins, Sarukian waits in the background. If Hollaway wins, he goes back down and fights to Poirier. If Holloway loses, I think he still goes back down and fights to Poirier.
Yeah,
I don't give him a fighter's chance against a puncher's chance even against Ilya. I think they're all worlds apart. I think.
You think Ilya?
He annihilates Max.
Annihilates Max.
Yeah, I think Ilya's special. I believe Poirier is a special athlete.
Ilya is a special fighter.
Adam, I think we're going to be talking about one of the goats in the next years.
You think
he fights three times a year, twice a year. I think we're talking about the GOAT status by 2027, 26, 27.
Ilya annihilates Max.
Yeah. Straight through him.
Hey, if Gaethje can't drop Max, there's no way Ilya's dropping Max. There's no way.
He's a special talent, guys. What he did to Volk, that was special.
It was. Max beats Ilya.
Yeah, I do have to caveat that. He did get KO'd.
This wasn't a last minute Alex or a standby Alex. This was a trained Alex back in his zone again, back in Australia.
Max beats Ilya.
For me, I think Max beats him as well. But hey, yeah, Ilya's got work to do because he's talking about fighting Makhachev already. I'm thinking, hold on, brother. Islam would test you out in one round, my friend. Ilya will choke you out. Not Ilya. Islam will choke you out in one round.
Yeah.
I'll go on saying he'll be a double world champion.
No, he's not.
Yeah, probably drop down to bantamweight maybe because he ain't winning over belt at 55. There's no way.
Give it 3 years. We're talking about a double division champion. I think he's that special. I think he's got that special mix of that European, that Georgian style. It's time for the Georgians. Well, you got Mirab. I think this guy's he's got the lot. He's got the lot.
Come on, you Georgians.
He can take it on the ground. He can stand up.
Sean's gonna piece up Marab as well.
Knockout power, like
Yeah, Sean's going to knock out Marab.
Sean's gonna piece up Marab.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
Oh, 100%. Watching that Triple C performance, Marab's going to get
he's gonna piece up Marab. He's gonna stop Marab.
He would drop.
I like both
Marab
fighters.
like he dropped.
I love
Sterling.
Marab. I love Marab. And I rate Ilya. But
Like Henry Cejudo's in my top 3, and after what Marab did to him, I thought this guy.
You just really rattled Jamie now.
He's like, I'm done, mate. Fuck it, man. Game off. Game off. I Henry Cejudo for me is one of the greats, right? But Marab, he ragdolled him, man. Let's be straight up. He ragdolled him. Does Jamie not like Henry Cejudo, no?
No. Yeah, that's another video's discussion. But I'll go with predictions.
Triple C, come on.
I'll go with predictions. To start off with you, Avi. Who have you got?
Max gets the job done.
Max, Jamie.
Gaethje in 4 knockout. Then forgets where he is.
Jesus. Callum.
Max decision.
Max wins, but Max wins regardless. You've seen his wife. LOL. Moving on. The former champion Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan, in what we'll probably believe is the real number 1 contenders bout. Obviously, Tsarukyan's been talking a lot. He's been talking a lot, saying he's going to finish him in the first round and stuff like that. But you need to back your talk. And Avi, do you see Tsarukyan back in this talk again against Charles, or do you think Charles is going to just remind him that he is the former champion?
See, it's another fighter, isn't it? Tsarukyan, who's fought Islam as well, I believe, and then after that he strung a few results together. Good fighter. It's that region now, isn't it? From Georgia, Armenia, Russia, obviously, Dagestan, where they're just creating these absolute athletes. And Charles, again, mileage, Luke. He's got a lot of mileage under his belt now. He's prone to that punch where he will get knocked down relatively easily.
He's 35 as well. The 35 curse is strong.
He's not getting any younger. I fancy Tsarukyan. I think he's come a long way from that Islam fight. I think he's 9-1 since then.
Yes.
8-1 or something since then. I believe he'll get the job done. I think it'll be a grind. I don't think it'll be a finish. I think he gets the job done.
Jamie, do you see Charles getting another emphatic victory, or do you think that it's time for fresh blood in that top 5?
I think this might be the most 50-50 fight in the card. Because I can see Oliveira. I can always I've learned not to back Oliveira now, because every time you think he's done, he's finished. He wins a fight somehow. He's just, I don't know how many fights we've seen him get. Looks like he gets laid out in the first minute of a fight, and it's over, and then he comes back and chokes someone out, takes their arm, takes their leg. But he's going up against. Arman's a younger guy, kickboxer. He wants that knockout. I think if you go looking for a knockout against Charles Oliveira, you come unstuck.
Yeah. If he looks for the finish, he's going to get finished.
Yeah, you come unstuck. It's a real 50-50 fight. I'm going to go Charles just because every time I say he ain't going to win a fight, he wins. So I'll go respect the man. I'm going to go Charles to win this by submission.
Callum, can you see Charles making his way back to the title, or do you think this is Tsarukyan's time?
Charles is my guy. He's my guy, man. Tsarukyan has to wrestle. I don't think he's I know he's gonna probably think I've just knocked out Dariush, and he's got good striking. If you start doing that game with Charles, though, he will just grab you and he'll just start kneeing your body, and then the next thing you know, he's gonna hit you with a straight right or a left hook, and you're done. I actually think Tsarukyan's going to try and make this a boring fight, quote unquote, and he's going to try and grapple him and hold him against the fence and hold him on the ground. But then again, you hold him on the ground and you're potentially walking into Charles's game of jiu-jitsu as well. I'm gonna go Oliveira. I'm gonna go Oliveira by 3rd round stoppage. But I expect Sarukian to be up on the cards when he gets stopped.
Yeah. I've just seen the face-off between the two. Right, Charles is locked in. You see Sarukian not wanting to give him eye contact and giving him that sheepish grin, like knowing that he's probably gone, oh shit. You know when you're trying to act hard, but you can't really give them eye contact.
Yeah.
He's sort of giving that little sheepish grin, thinking, "Yeah, definitely going to do something." Not, no. But Charles is my guy. I thought he was going to be the one to dethrone Islam. Got humbled real quick in that. I'd probably back him to have the better shot of beating Islam compared to anyone else in that division. I think he's got a better chance than Gaethje, better chance than Poirier to beat him, and I reckon he'll beat Sarukian. I think Sarukian's his word saying he wants to knock him out in the first round and stuff like that. You now need to back your talk, and if he tries to knock him out, I think Charles is just going to grab his neck and choke him out within 2 rounds. So I've got my boy Charles to get the victory there. We'll move on to the opener, the controversial opener. Avi's guy, Bo Nickel, versus Cody Brunage. Let me tell you, that did not go down well.
Light work, man. Light work.
Light
It
work.
is light work. It's
I
embarrassing.
think this guy's the next. This guy's the next sort of American top team, top athlete coming out of the MMA.
Do you mean light work for Cody? Do you mean?
Sorry.
Do you mean light work for Cody? Do you mean?
No. And I've been here before where I used to say Cody Garbrandt's going to be the face for the Americans, right? But after that TJ first fight, he was not there. But this guy, Bo Nickel, he's up there. You know what he did? So he was showing videos of his sort of wrestling videos of who he's beaten. But then he said the fighters that I couldn't get the one over, there was a one fighter, and he was from like the Dagestan region. And he goes, I don't know what it was. So he actually flew out to Dagestan to find the style of, that Sambo style wrestling.
Yeah.
It's aggressive in Sambo style, right? They fight bears out there. He actually learned that, and then he brought it back into sort of his sort of NCAA division, and it's sort of the way they fight and the athletes and the competitions. And that's when he started winning more and more. This guy's special. He's got power as well when he stand up. And I think we're looking at, if he beats Cody Brundage, then we're looking at possibly a top 20 then, breaking into that list. And that list is huge, it's long. If you think about Kamzat, is like what, 14th ranked, 15th ranked, is he in the middleweight division?
No, it's higher ranked than that. Number 8.
I think you're looking at that sort of next step for him. But I think he's the bee's knees. I think he's another champion in the offing.
Do you think they're going to take the slow approach with him, or do you think they're going to really just strap the rocket to him straight away? Because we know that the UFC do have a habit of getting a guy they really like and accelerating through the weight divisions way too quickly. Do you think he's going to be more of a slow burn, that they're just going to let him grow, let him develop, or do you think they're going to really go, right, to get a dominant win here, top 15, top 10, top 5, then a title shot? Do you think they're going to take their time with him?
I think if he's not got a title fight before his sort of 9th fight, he's what, 5-0 right now, right? Yes. Another 3-4 under his belt, I think he'll get a title fight, especially if he's like either knocking him out. I think he knocked out Woodburn, isn't it? The last sort of fight. That was absolute haywire. And then he got the 4 submissions under his belt. I think 9th fight, I think he'll get a title fight. I think they want to fast track him, but not as quick as maybe like a John Jones when he beat sort of Shogun. When he had a knockout fight against, it was literally a knockout, wasn't it, with Bader? I know you said it, but it was literally like Ryan Bader. It was like whoever wins that is going to get a title shot, and then Jones just took over from there. I think with Bo Nickel, I think he's 4 fights away from a real serious sort of challenge.
Hey, no pressure, Bo. No pressure, Bo Nickel, because the blue chip's been talking you up. You need to deliver now, because if you get the L, if you lose, we're coming for you.
But it's happened before, isn't it? It's like Raul Sosas, the Mexican kid. Like at 18 years old.
Roster, he got humbled quite
18
quickly.
Years old, again, that was like bad management. You're fast tracking him. You can't do that at 18. Like he wasn't going to become champion by 1920. So now they've taken a step back. His management team have taken a step back and work yourself up.
Is he training with DC now? I swear he's training in AKA.
Either DC. I know he might be training with Aljo sometimes as well. I know Aljo reached out to him and he said he wanted to.
Yeah, and then started talking crazy about how he was beating Aljo in training. I'm thinking, hold on, young fella.
Yeah, that's
Hold
crazy.
on. Do we see any shocks? Do we see Cody Brunish pulling off probably the shock off the card? Should he beat Bo Nickel?
Well, it's the biggest disparity in betting odds in the history of UFC, if I'm not mistaken.
That fight.
Yeah, apparently so.
You know, I'm not a betting man. I'm a bit.
Five on Brandis.
I was gonna I'll be honest though. What's happening with Bo Nickel? Everything just seems like it's a tee up for him. So
this is mad.
I think we need that as well, especially with the influx of like the Jordans coming through, like Ilya, you know, like Merab's coming through, like the Russian champions, right? And then there's no one out there right now. Like you've got who's the UFC heavyweight champion right now? Guy with the ponytail.
Heavyweight champion.
Who's the heavyweight champion right now?
Aspinall.
What, John Jones?
Aspinall. Sorry. So you got the Brit. Well, is he undisputed champion, right? Or is he?
He should be. He's not. Jones is still undisputed, but it should be Aspinall.
Yeah, let's just say about that.
I think we need that. I say we as Americans, but like I think America needs that one sort of star that's coming through because they've always had it, haven't they? They've always had it in each division, but I can't even think of anyone like right now. I only think it's Bo Nickel who's got that sort of superstardom sort of status about him.
Not Sugar Sean.
Sugar Sean, sorry, yeah, again another one. Sugar Sean, yeah, good shout.
Yeah,
like Aldo, he was champion, but was he champion material for the UFC?
No.
Was he Dana's man? I don't think he was.
No, it never was.
No, Sugar Sean is Dana's man because I think I cracked the code with Dana. He wants a McGregor level star that he can control because he couldn't control McGregor.
Yeah.
As soon as they did the Mayweather fight, he probably knew that he could never get him under control again. And I think that's why with the stars he's trying to manufacture now, he's trying to manufacture stars that he can control. That he can make sure, hey, don't get too big for your boots because, you know, you ain't Conor. Because they all talk about Conor still, want to be like Conor. You ain't going to be like Conor.
Yeah,
the UFC ain't going to let you get there. They will pluck your wings before you even get that eye. So, yeah. Note of warning for like O'Malley, Ilya, talking about McGregor. You ain't going to get there. Like, you're not getting your stadium shows in Madrid. Because Dana ain't going to bother booking out the Bernabeu. Don't care if he's got a roof. But you're not selling 80,000 tickets in the Bernabeu for Ilya. You'd literally have to get Conor McGregor back to fight Ilya. And that ain't happening. So forget the Bernabeu. You might get the training ground if you're lucky. But you ain't getting the Bernabeu. You ain't getting the Bernabeu. We've got a stacked prelim card. Instead of going through all the fights on the prelims and the early prelims, I'll go to each one of you and I'll let you pick out the fight to watch from the prelims or early prelims. I'll start with you, Callum. Okay. The fight to watch on the prelim or early prelims.
Bro, so many. All right. Selfishly,
gonna go with your boy Aljamain Sterling.
No, so obviously Jamaica to the day I die, you know how we do. But
for someone who doesn't watch cricket either, yeah, he says the man. I still don't believe that he's Jamaican, Karen. I remember the first conversation we had on Sports Studio on the Trippers. Yeah. He said, "I don't watch cricket." Abby. I was like, "What?
Yeah.
How can you be from Jamaica? Like
you and Rams are always on to me about that. I watch 2020 now and again, just not the other Test cricket. Like, no, miss me out with that, man.
Test cricket's the greatest sport on earth at its best.
I can't argue with it.
It's amazing. At its best, there's hardly anything better than 5 day.
Jamie, that's your first level, mate. That's your first.
I love 5 day cricket. At its best, you can't get many better sporting occasions.
What's the day? What's that Boxing Day special in Australia at the MCG? You can't beat it. Boxing Day.
No.
Usually midnight hour time in the UK, but watching an 8 hour on Boxing Day, watching 8 hours of cricket is superb, especially if the Ashes are going on as well.
I'm gonna go Kayla Harrison, Holly Holm.
Oh, you nicked the one I was going to talk about. Go on, Callum.
I don't think that's going to be the best. That's the most intrigued I am for a fight. Is Kayla as good as she says she is? Because Holly Holm is a hard fight as a debut for a grappler as well. Because Holly Holm, if she keeps it standing up, Holly Holm is going to piece Kayla up.
Kayla looked drained on those scales, you know.
She looked ill. She looked awful. Again, Dana doing it again. So getting the big girls in big girl weight, we just make them shrink to the size they can't. She looked ill when she went away into Kevin. I just can't. It's just. But this should be on the main card.
The cyborg treatment.
This fight should have been on the main card. It shouldn't be Bo Nickel on the main card. This should be on the opener. Because you should be promoting this. You should be because that opener is the only fight in the whole pay-per-view that hasn't got a ranked fighter fighting each other. It's the only fight. So Holly Holm, she should be opening this fight with opening this pay-per-view with Kyla Harrison for me. I don't understand why they're not doing that. They just, you want to show the world. Not everyone watches the prelims. This is a problem. Not everyone watches them. So I think. Yeah, Kayla Harrison. When I watched her in an interview a few weeks ago, her natural size, she looked like she would, eat through metal. Then when she was weighing in today, she looked ill, and that's a worry for me. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's a massive worry because she was like in PFL, she was fighting at 55. Like 55-45. I think this is classic Dana. This is showing Dana how little he thinks of PFL. Because he's literally taken Michael Venom Page, free agent, stuck him in the bottom 15. He's taken arguably their biggest female star. Went, now, you know what? You're not going to fight at lightweight and you're not going to fight at featherweight because I've scrapped the division. I'm going to make you do what Chris Cyborg did and practically kill yourself to get to 35. And I believe they've signed her. One, that adds a bit of an FU to PFL. And I feel like this is the only way they're going to get Amanda Nunes out of retirement is if they can find a way to get the belt on her quick. Because I reckon they still think that Harrison and Nunes would make relatively good money pay-per-view wise. I feel like that will be the reason why, to be honest, because she looked ill. And I know she won against, was it Aspirin Lad in PFL?
Yeah, Aspirin Lad, yeah. And then she lost against Pacheco the second.
Yeah, got KO'd by a pretty bad. And you know what? I think I got Holly Holm for this,
It's that story. It's that story as well, isn't it? Olympic gold medalist twice.
Olympic judo.
She's got that Ronda Rousey about her, advice from Ronda Rousey. She's gonna have that sort of billing, isn't it? Can she be the one that dethrones Amanda Nunes if Amanda Nunes was ever to come out of retirement? But Holly Holm, she was the one who literally laid out the blueprint for everyone to knock out Ronda Rousey, to get the best out of Ronda Rousey. So I don't know. I think it's a tricky fight, but I think Kayla Harrison, I think she'll get the job done. Myself, I think she'll get the job.
I'll be very interested to see how she starts off the fight considering the weight cut. Because I know she said that she had a trial weight cut to make sure that she could make 35. But that did not look good. That did not look good, like, whatsoever. And I fancy Holly Holm to head kick her, to knock her out. Because I think she's going to be so weight drained. I think a good shot on the chin, I think she's out. No matter how good her the judo, the wrestling is, I just think one touch on the chin and she's out. And that's going to be the hype gone. And then it's going to go, oh, well. Literally, oh, well. That's it. Cool. Messed up PFL in the process. Amanda Nunes.
When Ben Askren came over from one, he got that lucky fight against Lawler. He got that submission, which wasn't a submission. That's it. That kick from
he got battered after that by everyone.
Masvidal. That was it. It was Masvidal, and he came as a 12-0. And you got to remember that they relinquished. Well, they kind of let go of Mighty Mouse to go to one. and they brought in Askren. It was like a double deal, wasn't it?
Not gonna lie,
No,
Mighty Mouse
they
is
let
dropping a couple of bells
Eddie
recently.
Alvarez and Mighty Mouse go.
Yeah.
I have to say, Demetrius Johnson, you're dropping a couple of L takes, my friend. Recently, dropping a couple of L takes. Yeah, you don't want to rescind your GOAT status, but you need to be a little bit quiet. Saying Anthony Joshua could beat Ngannou in MMA, please. I will revoke your GOAT status right there. Like revoke it
real.
quick and say that it's easy
because
to
it's
become an
DJ. DJ might actually see something we don't.
And it says it's easier to become a champion in MMA than it is in boxing. So hold on, boxing give away belts out of the toy cards.
I can't defend that one, DJ. I can't defend that one.
Like an L take. But predictions for Kayla Harrison, Holly Holm. I'll start off with you, Callum.
I'm going Holly Holm by stoppage. I do think the weight and the fact that this is a horrible first fight. Like Holly Holm is no pushover. She's only
Even
really been beaten
42.
by the best. Bad fight. If this was at 45, then I'd be like, maybe Kayla could do it. At 35, nah, it's Holly. It's Holly all day.
Jamie?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Holly Holm as well. When I watched Kayla when I watched her on the scales, I was like, she don't look great. She don't look great. And Holly's a veteran. She's a beast herself. So yeah, I'm gonna go Holly.
Avi?
Kayla.
Is that who you want to win or who you think will win?
Holly's 42 now. And she's, again, mileage.
Kayla's not like, she's like 30. Oh, she's 33. Jesus Christ, I thought she was older than that.
9 years older.
Jesus Christ, I thought she was a lot older than that. I thought she was like 37. Better not say that to her face. Yeah, I think I've got
37. She looks 37.
I've got Holly Holm as well. Jamie, your fight to keep an eye on the prelims and early prelims. If you,
I sort of like the fight between Jim Miller and Bobby Green.
What I mean? Hey, hold on, Jamie. You got someone's name wrong. It's Jim fucking Miller.
Exactly, that's it. I like Jim Miller, man, and Bobby. I think they should be a scrap. I think you know what you're getting with Miller, man. Yeah. I think this would be a scrap. This would be an entertaining fight. You know, this could easily be a main event on the fight night for me. You know, or a co-main on a fight night. I think this has got the potential to be the fight of the night. Actually, obviously the opener of Cody Garbrandt as well. That's a ridiculous opener for an early prelim. That's a ridiculous.
Cody's going to be testing out the new medical beds real quick because he's Cody No Chin, as I call him.
Yeah, Bobby Green. Yeah, Bobby Green, Jim Miller. I think that's going to be an excellent fight.
How many fights have they had between them as well? Like Bobby Green and Jim Miller. Jim Miller's been around for ages, but how many fights have they had between them?
Well, Jim Miller's record: 37 wins, 17 losses, 0 draws, and 1 no contest. Bobby Green, 31 wins, 15 losses, 1 draw.
Yeah, that's what 100 fights in between.
Yeah, pretty much.
Crazy. That must be a record that between two fighters.
Could be.
Yeah, I think so. Possibly. I would need to double check. Avi, your fight to watch on the prelims or early prelims?
Got to go with one of my former favourites, Cody Garbrandt, the opener. I live in this fantasy world that he's got one more renaissance about him. One more run. He's not.
Yeah, he's got the fantasy for a reason. I think Figure Eight was going to.
He's just been deprived of everything. But I honestly believe that those two fights against TJ, that he got inside his head, and that was it. It was game over after that. And if you think about those two fights, Cody had it in the bag. He had that fight in the bag, and he just didn't press on. And then that's it. He gave TJ to recuperate, recover, and then both times he caught him.
Yeah, I put John Jones and TJ Dillashaw in the same bracket.
No chance. Come
on. Nice. Should be banned from the sport because they're cheats.
No, Jones is the GOAT.
Yeah. Jones may be technically the GOAT skill set wise, but he should be banned.
On what basis?
He should be banned. He is
why are you on cocaine? Come on. Come on.
No. Hiding from USADA officials because he
Luke,
knows
this
he's
is
the
going to be
third
like
officer.
talking to Calvin. Abby and Calvin are the two biggest John Jones fans I know in my life. Like, this is why I'm not saying anything to Abby about John Jones.
Luke, tell me that we've seen someone as good as John Jones in the business in the last 10, 15 years. We haven't.
Mighty Mouse.
No, probably not. But
Khabib was great. Mighty Mouse was great. Khabib was great. But John Jones had everything.
Like technically, he's 100% up there. But you always think about, but was he on gear?
He went through the division. He never shied away. He went through that division. The Cormiers, the Shoguns, the Baders. He beat every single fighter. The Thiago Sanchez's when they were on a high. He went through that division. Apart from Stipe now, which I'm hoping that fight gets done. But again, a fight maybe a year too late.
What? The same guy that was too afraid to jump up to heavyweight in 2013 and decided that getting his ass whooped by Cain Velasquez wasn't good enough, and then decided.
And I'll always say there was only one fighter at their peak that could have beaten John Jones, and it is Cain Velasquez.
I thought,
and his career was badly shortened because of injury as well.
Yeah, but for me, John Jones should be stripped of that heavyweight belt. Yeah, if you want to have your swan song with Stipe, you can have it without the goddamn belt, because we know you ain't defending it afterwards. You're going off in the sunset. I've never seen Dana treat a legend like he's treating John Jones, because he is so desperate to boot them out the door. Anderson Silva, GSP, more than happy to kick them down the road. But John Jones, no. I've never seen a
champion. He has to have John Jones as a champion, because France
run away from his interim challenger because you want to have a legacy fight. This ain't WWE.
Do you not think that Ngannou would have beaten Jones if it happened?
Yes. This version of Jones, yes.
Yeah. And there's a reason why he doesn't want the Aspinall fight. Because I reckon he knows that I think he probably may lose. And I don't think he wants a definitive loss.
I think he's had his detractors before. And I think Aspinall's good. I think he's a great fighter. And I think he will be eventually, when Jones retires, I think he will clear out that division. I think he'll be a dominating champion. But if they were to fight, I think Jones still has his number. But
the reason why Dana wants him to run off in the sunset without losing that belt, stick up 2 fingers to Francis Ngannou. That's why. This is all petty. This is Dana being petty. He's still pissed at Francis. Why do you think John Jones came back and absolutely decimated and gone? Because Gane is shit. He gave Jones the easiest matchup for him to walk back and nick a belt. Guy with 0 grappling.
Gane beat Ngannou, right? And then he became champion. Was that how it played out? And then
No. So Gane beat Lewis to become interim champion.
And then he would already
Gane with no knees out wrestled Cyril Gane, snatched his belt. Obviously, then Ngannou went off, left the UFC. Then it was John Jones versus Gane for the full belt, the vacant belt, which was a mismatch to begin with. And then since then, interim champion wants to fight the real champion for his legacy, and John Jones goes, no, I want to fight an old man. He wants to do a McGregor and fight an old man in the pub. No jokes.
I still think that Stipe fight is a good fight. I think that will sell. I think that will still.
I pray to God Stipe beats him. I pray to God if Stipe beats him, I will laugh my head off so badly.
Stipe's never winning that.
Stipe will sleep in and forget he's got a fight. You know what I mean? That man's finished.
No, they do the WWE thing. John Jones is in the octagon waiting, and then this Tom Aspinall walks out instead.
Cashes in. Gives the briefcase.
That would be a big fight in Wembley, there, wouldn't it? Aspinall and Jones, if it was.
Yeah, Dana ain't going Wembley.
Oh yeah, that's sell out.
Yeah, Dana ain't touching Wembley. He's not got a roof. That's why he's going to Manchester in July, where there's a roof. Lastly, I'll touch on my fight on the prelims and early prelims, and I'll go for the headliner of the prelims: Yuri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic. For me, this is a number 1 contenders fight. Winner will fight the winner, I believe. And I do think it will be Prochazka versus Jamal Hill. Get to run that because we should have had that before Jamal got injured.
That sells 10 tickets.
So, well, it's not my fault that Yuri's.
Oh no, it's just this. There's no. This card is stacked, right? It is stacked from early prelim to the main event, right? It's absolutely stacked, but there is no. There's no superstars in this.
There's no characters. Yeah, no, I agree. There's no characters.
There's none. Dana sapped it all out of them, man.
Yeah, yes, 100%. But
I'm hoping TKO changes that.
Yeah, Dana's probably the most powerful man on that board.
Well,
there's no Vince anymore now.
The Rock is more powerful than Dana. The Rock is on TKO's board, you know.
No way.
Yeah, the Rock's more powerful. Dana might be richer than the Rock, but the Rock's more powerful.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, apparently, Ankalaev said that he was offered to fight Pereira, but he was observing Ramadan, so he said no.
Do you see who Benoit's fighting?
Dan Hooker.
Yeah. Well, didn't we say that?
When is that?
That's a scheduled next fight for both of them, yeah. This summer, I believe. I think we said that in a video not long back, didn't we? About Benoit's next fight might be down there for a second.
That's a fun fight.
Yeah, but everyone that's tuned in, massive thank you. I think there was an issue with StreamYard because if anyone put in a comment, none of it's showing up. I don't know why, but it was something that I look into because I've not seen any comments that's popped up at all. But everyone that's tuned in from the beginning, a massive thank you. Thank you for Callum, Jamie. Massive thanks to Avi for coming on, making his debut. Hopefully this won't be the last time that we see him on the channel. Yeah, but massive thanks to everyone. Callum, let the people know where they can find us tomorrow.
So yeah, we'll be on the Sanderson show live doing the prelims and the main card. I don't know how I'm going to survive. I don't know how we're going to survive, but we're going to make it happen.
It better be better in the card when we did the prelims and that.
Better be in it.
That was slow. We were all literally at the main event where it's all a bit like this, weren't we?
Yeah, it was rough.
You not signed it off from the first fight.
Not the early prelims, just the prelims. We don't get access to the early prelims in the UK. But the prelims.
We get access to the early prelims, then the prelims, and then we've got to pay $90 for the main card, whereas you guys get it on TNT Sports.
Oh,
like $110.
That's more sacrifice.
Yeah, we're privileged.
Yeah, we are.
I've got IPTV, so I'll put it on PE Sports too. TNT.
Yeah.
I don't know what Abby just said or what that is.
Sorry.
Beats me, alright. But yeah. So yeah, we're on the Sanderson show for that. So please tune in for that tomorrow. That should be a good one.
That'll be great.
Jamie, let the people know where they can find you and what's coming up on your channel.
So yeah, tomorrow afternoon on Jamie Phillips Football Chats, I've got the Liverpool Palace preview. And talking, about certain Uruguayan striker that I once sold. So we're talking about that tomorrow.
Avi, can let the people know where they can find you now?
Yeah, just floundering around Twitter or x.com on Blue Chip LFC. And I'm signed up with, but I'm with Born and Red channel as well, Liverpool channel growing.
It's a great channel. I love Born and Red.
Yeah, indeed. Very good channel.
I've got to invite you boys as well over.
From last time I was on there, Avi called me Tony Robinson.
I've been able to talk to Robert today on Twitter because about the 2%ers, but that anyway, it's all fun and games on Twitter.
Yeah, it's all fun and games. I've stuck everyone's links in the description as well, so that's including Born a Red, Blue Chip TV, Jamie Phillips Football Chats, Sanderson Show. I think I've done Coppish as well, but everyone knows where Coppish is. But everyone that's tuned in, massive thanks, and we will see you all very soon.